Hello and welcome to our second online PYPx solution. Here we will answer your questions. Can you repeat it?
Let's repeat it because it's really worth listening to. Once again, to the microphone. Go.
We start again. Hello and welcome to our second PYP online exhibition. Here we will answer your questions. People laugh at it. Like there.
Also, we would appreciate if you took your time thinking of good and reasonable questions to ask. We will now wait a few minutes for everyone to join.
All right, so as we heard, we are waiting for everyone to settle down in front of their screens or in their classrooms in front of the smart boards. After this lively introduction, which we all love.
Thank you very much.
We are now waiting for you, everyone, to log in. And if you are there, please let us know in the chat. You can say your name, you can write already hello and hi, so that we can see who is with us. So there is the first comment from Ms. Tanya Roszyk, Alex's mom, saying that you should consider an acting career.
Many people tell me it.
Okay, good job. Roman Rumek. Okay. Someone is already here. Hello, hello. Miss Aneta Zbutska is saying hi, G5 team. So our school principal saying hi. Hello, Miss Aneta. We're going to wait for a moment. Oh, it was Ksawery, Roman Rumek. So, greetings to you too, Ksawery. Hi, good to see you.
Hello.
Okay, so I think we can begin.
Okay, so before we start, I would just like to say thank you very much for joining, and we really hope you enjoy. Oh, I am Sophie Karvani.
I'm Alex Roszyk.
My name is Katerina Engelian.
Our central idea is the way we make decisions has an impact on our lives. Sorry, the way societies make decisions has an impact on their lives. And our lines are function, how societies make decisions, causation, the impact of the decisions we make on our society, and responsibility, the way we are responsible for our whole society.
But before we start, we kindly ask you to not spam and only write relevant questions.
If you already have questions, please begin.
Thank you so much.
Thank you in advance.
Thank you for this wonderful introduction. Now that everyone knows our unit, we also hope that actually our audience visited the stand, right? And they know what our topics were. We are waiting for the comments and the questions in the chat, so do not hesitate to ask them. Miss Anna Kalvani, our school management team member, is saying that Alex's mom is right about his acting career, and that's what she was thinking. That's true. Mr. Rick Kalvani, also our management team member, is saying that the set looks absolutely amazing. So, thank you very much. The banners prepared handmade by our students. Thank you. And we already have a question from Mr. Bernard and Gillian, who I believe is the dad of Kathy. So let's go on and ask it. Having looked at agents of social decision making, what is the biggest impediment to change? How can politicians be more successful at solving the world's problems? Wow, this sounds very, very serious. Let me maybe just rephrase it. What are the biggest, maybe like problems, conflicts in the society that you can see in the world in general, also probably in the environment that you would like to change? And what would be a good idea to implement as a change? What would you do? Alex?
During my when I was researching my topic, I came to an information about Abraham Lincoln, that he always kept asking his people what do they need. He kept the contact with them. And during making my survey analysis, I spotted that many people say that they don't have enough freedom. So the president of Poland or any other president in the world, he can just keep the contact with people more.
Wonderful. Thank you, Alex. So asking people for advice and what they want. Wonderful. Sophie also would like to add something.
Thank you. I just want to add that I agree with Alex, and I want to answer the last question about how politicians should make the decisions and how they should change how they act. I think that it's important to remember that that you cannot please everyone. Even in a classroom, the teacher has to make some rules that some people like and some people don't.
Thank you. Wonderful comparison. It's also a community, right? A small community, but at school here we have our own. Kathy, would you like to add something? Okay, thank you so much. We hope we managed to answer the question. If you've got any follow-up questions, we'll be happy to see them in the chat and answer. Why did you inquire into this topic? A question from Miss Anya Calvani. Sophie's mom also, by the way. I think everybody can answer one by one. So, Kathy, let's go. Was it your first choice also? Tell us more about it.
Well, for me, when we were first picking out topics for exhibition, I was first looking for something that I have an interest in. And I decided to pick the topic of societal decision making. And I picked it because I've always found it interesting about how it all works with politicians, you know? And also I wanted to learn more about them and how we can change the world thanks to them.
Thank you. Was it challenging for you? Although you had interest in it, was it still a challenge for you or no?
At the same time, yes, and at the same time, no.
Can you elaborate?
Well, for instance, I found it a bit hard to find the best politician I could think of, and also I find it quite hard to write about the politician because, for example, let's say I wrote about Donald Trump, and I wrote something bad about him, and then there's some people that support him, and then I'll get all the anger. So that would have been good.
So it was challenging to keep it balanced and also unbiased, right? Exactly. No, this was a challenge for all of us. It's true.
But it was quite easy seeking research for it.
Okay, so research was the easy part. Thank you. Alex, what about you? Why did you decide to choose this topic?
Wherever I go, I look for challenges on football, on some athletics, on chess, on piano, everywhere. I look for challenges. And when I was thinking, riding to school in my car, what would be the biggest challenge for me on exhibition? Politics, the topic about politics, maybe about sports. And I decided that it would be the politics, that it would be the biggest challenge of all. So, so I chose this topic.
Would you consider then yourself a risk taker?
Yes,
Mhm.
I would consider myself a risk taker.
I agree. Thank you. And Sophie also would like to answer.
At the beginning, I actually did not know what I wanted to do it about because I was actually thinking about doing it in the media topic about advertising. But then I realized that there are many problems in the world. So I realized that COVID-19 is now a huge problem. So I decided to do it about that because this is something that I can actually change.
Okay. So this is a very up-to-date issue.
Yes.
Thank you very much for those exhaustive answers. Wonderful. There is another question in our chat from Ms. Tania Roszek, the mom of Alex, our risk taker here. What do you guys think are going to be some of the biggest global problems in the 21st century? Wow, such a big question. However, worth thinking of, even if we haven't thought about it. What is your opinion, your vision of the future? What are going to be the biggest challenges? Okay, Sophie, go first.
Well, if you're talking about COVID, then I think that a huge challenge is herd immunity. And we also don't know how long it will take us to get rid of COVID-19. So that, but also global warming and the things connected to in the environment.
Thank you. Alex?
I think that COVID is also a big challenge for the whole world. Many people have died, but I also think that it's getting calmer. So it was here, and now it's getting down here. I also think that global warming, although our world will not end in this year, some years further, it will get worse. There will be some natural disasters, and that's why we have to take care of it now, to prevent.
So would you say that environmental issues are the burning issues right now?
Yes. I say that right now is COVID, but for a longer run, it's the environmental issues.
Thank you. Kafi, do you have any opinion about it? Okay.
For me, I think the worst is global warming, but actually slowly we're actually making progress. You know, like replacing cars with electric ones. And of course there'll be natural disasters in the future, but I think it'll get a bit better.
So it's not that the whole world is totally ignorant
Yes.
towards those issues. Hopefully. Let's hope so, and let's also take action in that. Thank you very much. Amazing answers, very reflective. Another question from Ms. Katarzyna Adamska, our ICT teacher and specialist at school. Hello, Ms. Kasia, by the way. So the question is, what are the qualities of a good leader? What makes a good leader? And actually, it's a shared question because your ex-teacher, Ms. Monika Kasior Tomaszewska, also is asking you that question. So, what makes a good leader? Many of you here researched leaders. What can you tell me? Kathy, let's begin.
Well, one of them is good listening, which means that you don't just decide it yourself, but you'll listen to your people about what they think also.
So listening skills and cooperation with others. All right. Thank you so much.
Because it's very important to listen to others.
It is. Okay, Alex?
A good leader has to be smart, so he knows what decisions should he make. And he also should he should need to cooperate, so people don't feel left alone. And a good leader also should know how to speak to people, so that people listen to him and want to do the things that he says they should do. That the people will do the things in their own will, not like not forced to do it.
So should be a good speaker and motivator as well?
Yes, yes.
Okay, wonderful qualities. Thank you
That's where
so
I'm
much.
going.
Thank you.
Though we mentioned that that a good politician needs to be a good listener and a very smart person and motivational person, I think that even more important is to be a likable person, a good person, because I know that some people are nice on TV or in any media, but I realize they're not really nice. But then they're not. If a politician is not nice, it's not a good person, then the people that actually know this person will not like them, meaning that those people's friends will not like that politician, and so on.
Thank you very much. So we should be simply true to the
Yes.
people and to ourselves, right?
Yes, we need to be very true.
Amazing reflective answers. Oh my gosh. I hope that, guys, you are the leaders at one point of your lives. Alex, can you repeat to the microphone?
I also hope.
Thank you so much. There are more questions coming up from our chat. And here is the question from, again, Mr. Bernard and Gillian, Kathy's dad, asking, which leader would you consider as a role model for people of your generation? Is there any leader that you're thinking of as your role model? Someone that you would maybe aspire to be, or someone like that? Go, Kathy.
For me, my biggest role model is Barack Obama. I just really love how he talks in his speeches. He influences and inspires so many people.
So, good motivator, speaker, likable person, probably.
Yeah, very likable.
Thank you. Sophie?
I'll have to agree with Kathy on this one. Because also, I don't know if you know, but I saw in one of his speeches, there was a pregnant lady standing behind him, and she just fainted during one of his, like when he was talking. And he caught her, even though he wasn't looking at her. He caught her and like he pretty much saved her. And also when someone, I don't remember what happened to them, but someone in the audience, something happened, and he told, he said that his own doctor should go and treat that person. So I think that he's very likable and motivational.
And such a gentleman as well, right?
Yes.
Thank you. Alex, do you have any role model for you? Or you didn't think of that, or maybe you've got many? What's up with you?
In sports, I have many role models, but like in like politics, I want to say Barack Obama, but I know that there is somebody that I like more. So for now, I don't have a role model.
Thank you. Maybe, one day it's going to appear, right?
Yes,
for you.
that's what I'm hoping for.
Exactly. It would be great, by the way, to have a huge category of great leaders, right? To be easy to choose from. Thank you very much. Thank you. And the next question is coming from Miss Tanya Roszek, Alex's mom. And the question is very up-to-date, very interesting, and connected with media. Do you think that YouTubers are good role models or leaders? What is your opinion?
It depends what YouTubers. If there is some, I'm personally watching a YouTuber called Daily Tactics, and he's a good person. If you look, he is polite. He doesn't swear on his live streams or in his videos. But if you go to some Polish typical YouTubers that are like swearing in their videos and like have those weird, like, you can say slang words, something like this, I don't think that those are good role models.
So it depends. But some
yes,
of them
it depends. Some
Mhm.
of them are very good people.
Thank you for, by the way, for this recommendation. And what is this daily tactic about?
He's
This
a Star Wars YouTuber. He plays Star Wars games.
okay.
Or Mr. Beast. I think that he donated around $1.5 million on charities.
That is very kind. Thank you very much. Sophie also wanted to answer this question. What about the YouTubers?
I think that it depends on the YouTuber, just like Alex said, because there are some YouTubers that are good people, just like we said, what a leader has to be. But at the same time, even though you're a good person and you're smart and you're motivational and a good listener, that does not mean that you're a good leader, because a YouTuber is no one in the political world. But I think that there are also bad YouTubers, like Alex said, the Polish ones usually, and I don't think that they would make good leaders.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. We hope we managed to answer the question of Ms. Tania Roszek. Thank you very much for that. There is another question coming up from the parent of the guys on stage. Sophie's dad, Mr. Rick Calvani, is asking and stating an opinion. I think we should have more women in societal decision making. Do you agree? How would this make our societies better/different if more women were actual leaders also in politics? Do you have any perspective on that? Okay. So, Sophie, can you begin?
I think that we should have more women that are leaders because first, I think the first step is letting women get the same amount of money, the same salary as men do. I think that's totally unfair. I think that also some of the politicians now that are men, they also, some of them try to make the women politicians feel worse and not as important, I think. And I agree that we should have more politicians who are women.
And just to continue, actually, there was a follow-up question to this. So you agree, but how would it influence the world political arena? What would be different?
I do not know how exactly it would influence, but it would also make women, younger women, also like girls, feel stronger, I think, and make them believe in themselves.
So you're saying that this would be actually already role modeling the society, also girls.
Yes. Even if there's one president, one female president, then the other girls in that country feel that they can stand up for themselves. The other women in that country feel that they can stand up for themselves, meaning that there will probably be more.
Thank you very much for this insightful comment. Alex, what about you?
And for me, it's like simple logic. A girl understands a girl better than a boy a girl, usually, like in friendship. So if we would have more girls in societal decision making, the perspective would be different, and maybe the woman in the societal decision making would change some things that would make the life of other women better. And I just want to mention that first, when Ms. Karina said societal decision making, do you think that there should be more women? I thought that it was like a joke, like I am the only boy and two girls, so what's happening?
You see, they're already standing up for themselves, already taking action. Alex, good point. Very cool observation, by the way. Thank you very much. Thank you. Would you like to add something?
No.
Okay, thank you. Kathy, would you like to add something? No, we said everything already. Thank you very much. Very, I think, intriguing and important question to ask from our chat. Thank you very much. Okay. There is also a question from Ms. Natalia Marczak, our G5 teacher, and she is asking, Oh no, sorry. I think it's in our classroom, and it's from Natalia in our classroom, from Natalia Tabaczyńska. And Natalia is asking, what qualities does a good president have? We talked already about good qualities of a politician in general. So would you say it's the same or something extra?
It's very similar. He has to cooperate with people. He has to motivate them. He has to be smart. Maybe sometimes outsmart the people that want bad for him. He has to have everything thought through. During the guest speaker meets with Miss Aneta Zbudzka, she said that some decisions should be thought through and slept on, and some decisions like buying a chair, you just buy a chair. It's fast and it's not so important.
So you need to look at the priorities. Is it what
Yes.
you're thinking? Thank you very much. Thank you, Alex. All right. And there is another intriguing question coming from the chat. Actually, I would like to know the answer too, very personal one, from Ms. Ania Calvani, the mom of Sophie. And the question is, do you consider a career in politics or other leadership positions? Can one person influence the world? So first of all, think about yourselves as possible future leaders, and then is it possible that one person influences the world? Actually, two questions here. Kathy, go.
Honestly, in the future, I don't think I'll be somewhere in like the political life, but I do believe that one person can influence the whole world.
Thank you very much. Alex?
Me as politician, I don't see myself as a politician. It's just not it isn't something for me. But like if you look at some dictators like Adolf Hitler from Germany, he influenced the whole world, like influenced really. The whole world was against German and the German and against the German alliance, something like this. Yes, you can say it like this. Allies. Yes, this is the word I was looking. And against the German allies.
So it is possible that one person makes a huge difference in the world, whether positive
Yes.
or negative.
Yes.
Thank you. And Sophie also would like to answer.
I do not know what the future holds. I do not know if I will be a politician or any type of leader. But I do think that I'll be able to impact the world because I think that everyone can. So that answers the second question, that anyone can impact the world in any way. They don't have to be a leader or a politician.
That's true. We are all empowered to make changes.
Yes,
right?
just like our teachers. They influence us. They shape us. We take all the glory when they stand behind us.
Okay, and now I'm crying. That is exhibition. Thank you very much for this, by the way. This was a huge compliment for, I think, all of the teachers. I speak in the name of all of them. Thank you. All right, there are some more questions popping up. And I'm just scrolling down. There is one from Ms. Kasia Adamska, again, and it says, do you think students should have more impact on the overall decisions concerning the school? So do you think, maybe let's even make it a bit broader, do you think, first of all, that students have impact on the decisions now at school? And second of all, what could they do? Okay, Kathy, let's begin.
Honestly, I think that students do have an impact on the school, but not a huge impact, because they're not like the leaders of the school or something.
And in what way? Could you elaborate? Only, how do you see this? So let's think about it. In the meantime, okay, Sophie.
I think. Could you please repeat? Oh, yeah, I remember now. Sorry. I think that we do have an impact on the school because if maybe if it's not that we're saying that we need something, but we do need things. Like if there are more students in a classroom, we need more chairs. We do impact, even if in such little ways. If we have more students, then we need maybe another building. And I think that students should have an impact, and we do.
Okay, thank you. Alex, what about your perspective?
I think that students in our school have a big impact. Like there were many charities for animal shelters, now for Miss Paulina's son, and there were many charities, and there was also a new building being built because we just needed a big hala, and for like maybe exhibitions, some sports events, and and bake sales. So I think that students have a big impact.
And we try to take action regularly, right? Very good. Thank you so much. Intriguing question again. Can another follow-up question to this from Miss Ania Calvani, Sophie's mom. Can children, as children, make a difference in the world? Do you know any children, maybe teenagers, that make a difference in the world? Go, Alex. Yes, begin.
Do you know the girl that was, I think, in some country like Iraq or Iran, something like this, and some terrorists came to her village and started, and they didn't allow girls to go to school, so the girl protested. And she changed, and she gathered the attention of some bigger countries like USA. So I think that this was a big impact made by a kid.
A huge one, even I would say. Impressive, thank you. Sophie would like to add something also. Thank you, Alex.
Yes, I also want to add about, just like Alex said about Malala, also about, I forgot her name, maybe someone else knows, you can write it in the chat. But she is like fighting against global warming. Yes, Greta Thunberg. I forgot her name. So I think that she is making a big impact, and I saw in one video she kind of insulted the politicians standing in front of her, but at the same time she made them see that she was right.
And do you think that there are many children taking action like this, or it's still just the beginning, we can say?
I think that we as children feel a bit helpless at times, because adults don't listen to us when we say wear a mask. So I think that we are still yet to be able to convince people of things.
Yes, thank you. Alex, you'd like to add something?
Yes. I think that some kids, like normal kids, we are not talking about Greta Thunberg or Malala, but some ordinary kids, they make small impacts that change into a big impact at the end of the day. So all those small things at the end make a big thing.
Thank you. Again, a very deep reflection. Thank you very much. That was very nice. Okie dokie. There is another serious question coming up from Ms. Tania Roszek, Alex's mom this time, about the leader, being a likable person and a good speaker. Do you know about a leader or leaders charming the masses to an extent that is in the end bad for the society? So, do you know about any leaders that manipulated or manipulate the masses, and it can have a negative impact as well. Let's remember to try to stay biased while we're answering the question. Try to. Still. I mean, you can answer what your opinion is. Kathy, begin.
I think it's definitely Adolf Hitler.
Okay, in the history.
At the beginning, Germany, so the citizens, they thought of him as like a good impact. But after some time, they realized that it's not, including, well, everyone in the whole world.
So it took time to realize this.
Yes.
And some of the people still don't realize.
Yeah.
Thank you. Alex.
I also think it's Adolf Hitler. I think that people thought of him as a hero, that he helped Germany and he put a lot of money into Germany, and that like blinded the people, so they thought that he was a good person. I wrote that on my slide, please go there. And in the first time people thought that he was very good, but then he made the Second World War and it was really bad.
Thank you. Sophie, you'd like to also name a leader?
Yes,
Go.
I agree with Alex and Kathy. I think that one of the main things that made Hitler so manipulative was that he separated people into us and them. Because us can be, I don't know, Germans, but it can also be people with brown hair or people with blonde hair. It can be anything.
Thank you. Very good point.
But
Kathy?
another thing that a reason why I really, really hate Adolf Hitler is that because of him, for many years, countries, other people would think that Germany, the whole country itself, is bad. But honestly, people don't realize that it's basically just him and his followers. I mean, there were many citizens in Germany that wanted just peace.
Thank you. Yes, this is what we tend to do, right? Put everyone in the same group of people. This is just easy, right? So, follow-up question from me. So, we know that leaders manipulate, whether in a good or negative way. How can we work on ourselves to be able to see it and maybe stop it if necessary? What can we do? What should we do? Because people use different manipulation tactics, right? So what do we do then? What should we do to prevent such situations? Go.
I think that first we have to educate ourselves. Just like I said, the teachers are a great source. And I think that it's also important to see if you agree with these people, with this politician. Because if that politician has some views that you do not agree with, and you find that person a bad politician, then you obviously think that they could be manipulating you at any time. So you could be extra careful with that person.
Okay, so being careful, using our thinking skills in the meantime, right, and education, okay. Go, Alex.
There are some movies that there is some criminal that stole a diamond, and there was a video recording of it, and somebody recorded it, and nobody wanted to believe the person that it was the person that was the criminal that stole the diamond. And then when the person that recorded the criminal showed the video, everybody started to believe because it was like shown. So I think that if someone is manipulating, you have to catch him off guard and show it to people. Show that to people what he's doing really.
So always be careful, be observant, use our knowledge already
Exactly.
Thank you so much. Very good hints, by the way, for the future generations also. A very interesting question coming up from our teacher, Ms. Natalia Marczak. Ms. Natalia is asking, what decision were you able to make during the exhibition process? Decision or decisions? What decisions did you have to make on the way during this journey? You can think of even the very beginnings. Okay, Sophie?
I think that we made plenty of decisions, and I would not be able to name them all. But I think that the biggest one is what our topic will be. And though we did not have much of an impact on this, our teams. Because if we knew that we would really super not agree with some person, then we would not work nicely, and we would have to change our team. Or we'd have to make that person change their team.
So the biggest decision, in your opinion, was the team choice and topic choice. Thank you.
I think that the biggest decisions that we make, not the biggest, but a big one, was when we had to make our central idea and lines of inquiry. And we're cutting off the lines of inquiry that we didn't want, so there would stay only 3. And then we made a central idea, and it had 3 or 2 versions of it, and none of the versions survived to the end, and we had to still change it. So that's
And it was a big decision, and it lasted a lot of days also, right? I remember.
Yes. I think that we were doing it for a whole week.
It is possible. For the future G5 students, we just can give you a hint. Think already of the topic maybe, and look at the central idea and lines of inquiry, how they are constructed, because building the unit is kind of a challenge, right? A good unit.
You don't have to be afraid at the end. It's pretty easy. It just takes a lot of time.
Thank you for the support. Thank you. Okay, some of the people are saying hello, probably in the beginning, but I'm still here. Good luck to you guys.
Could you write if you like the intro? The intro, like with...
This intro, could you please write it?
The intro. We'll call it the intro.
Of course, do not hesitate. Miss Agata Sierpińska, our student, Dominika's mom, is saying, awesome answers, you rock guys, with a lot of bravo icons. You're amazing, Sophie from Miss Basara, Urbaniak Basara, another student's mom. Hello and welcome. And there is another comment from Alex's mom. Excellent observations. And there is one question that I would still like us to answer from Antoni Hadyniak, our student. Can politicians be mean? Can they? Actually, can they, should they, are they? You can look at it from many perspectives.
Thank you. I think that everyone can be mean. It's not even if they try to be mean, but they're just mean. They can be mean accidentally, and they can be nice, they can be mean. There are also people that are nice on camera, but mean in real life. So yes, politicians can be mean. Everyone can be mean.
Thank you.
Adding up to what Sophie said, yes, politics can be rude. An example is that sometimes a politician could start saying bad things about another politician, which is not nice.
Exactly, and unprofessional a bit, right? Alex, what about you?
I have nothing else to say because everybody can be mean. And, politicians are not an excuse. So everybody can be mean. Simply, I just don't want to say another 5 minutes who can be mean and who not, so we can ask other questions.
Sophie would like to elaborate a bit on it, though.
I just wanted to add to what Kathy said. that they can be mean to other politicians, but they can all, especially men, can also be mean to women, towards women.
Thank you. Okay. Let's move on with the questions. There is one interesting one. I mean, there are more, but one that I could spot now. What is the voting for? What is the voting for? No, Alex, begin. Go.
It's so people have a choice of who do they want to have as president or some other politician, or maybe what decisions they want to make. Like in Dąbrówka, I think that there was some voting to make a new church, and there started to be a new church. So I think that voting is made to like communicate a little bit with the people. But the thing is that people maybe don't have, when they go voting, maybe they want more options. So make a new church, make a church of this and this style, like maybe like more cooperation, something like this.
Thank you. Mm-hmm.
I think that voting is very important because otherwise it would be a dictatorship. And I don't think anyone likes that. I think that voting can be about anything. When we're playing a game, we vote who plays with who. So I think that voting is really important to get what you want.
Thank you. Kathy?
Another thing, just to sum up this, voting, of course, is amazing because it'd be horrible if, for example, let's say the president of a country would just say, okay, you're going to be the president now. And another thing is that when you vote, something that happens a lot is that the person that wants to be president manipulates the people, you know, by like giving money to poor people so they vote for him or her.
So also what you mean is that while voting we also have to use our critical thinking skills, right? And see whether this is the true person or maybe it's a manipulation.
For example, when it's your time to make a speech for the people, you should think of the most influencing words you could think of.
Thank you very much. And Sophie also would like to elaborate.
Sorry, but what Kathy said made me think of something. Wait, I forgot what I was thinking now. Just need this moment.
A moment.
Okay, I forgot.
Okay, it will come to you. When it comes to you, yes, we're going to share it with the audience, right? Thank you. All right. There is a very interesting question lined up in our chat. Are politicians needed? Are politicians needed? Do we need them? No, begin, Alex.
I think that politicians are needed. They are definitely needed. But if there are politicians that cannot get to a compromise or to an answer to the same language, they should be replaced. So when I was doing research about Julius Caesar, Rome was ruled by 2 councils. And Julius Caesar made Rome instead ruled by only 1 person. So there are no unfortunate situations like not getting to the right answer.
Thank you. Do we need politicians?
I think that without politicians, maybe some countries would be able to manage, but I think generally it would be chaos everywhere. Because even though there would not be a politician, there would still be a government, or maybe not. But if there was a government, then it would still make sense. But if there wasn't, then I think it would just be complete chaos. There would be no law, no nothing.
Alex would like to finish up his opinion.
Another example came to my mind when I was reading about Napoleon's biography. A simplified version of his biography. there was this Louis first, the King of France or something like this, some Louis guy, and the people started to riot against him, and the French and the France was weakened then because there was no rules, everywhere chaos, and it wasn't good. A lot of killing also.
So what you guys are saying basically is that we need some kind of a system still, a ruling, governing system.
Summing up to what Sophie and Alex said, we need politicians and all that stuff because, for example, this would happen everywhere in the world. People would get confused, like they would not know what to decide, and things would go out of control, which means global warming, definitely COVID, because people need to make decisions. Also, a war could even break out because of that.
Thank you. Very deep observations. Thank you very much, guys. We are coming to an end slowly, so we are kindly asking the audience to just leave now the comments in the chat, not questions anymore, because I still think we're not going to be able to answer all of them. However, by the way, this YouTube video with the chat are going to be visible and available at our channel all the time, so you can always go back to it and have a look. And of course, if you are going to have any further questions, we are happy to answer them. Maybe on the stairs we're going to meet, right? Or somewhere at home. We definitely recommend ourselves, right? Sophie, would like to say something about it?
I just wanted to say thank you very much for joining, and if you need anything, you can write us an email. We're always there for you, and you can also check our Genially presentation before.
Thank you very much. So now I'm just going to start reading the comments. Okay. Still Malala, by the way. Many questions about mayors, about the governing body in our school. Interesting ones. So there is a comment from BJB and BJM saying, some DJ, exactly. You're doing great, keep it till the end. Oh, it's Clara from G3A, Connie from G3A, and Marta from G3A. Thank you, girls.
Thank you.
There are more questions here still. Great discussion from Ms. Kinga Gałęzka. Thank you very much. From Mr. Rick Calvani, Sophie's dad. Hats off to the G5 teachers. The three of you have done a marvelous job. Bravo.
Yes.
Thank you.
Seconded.
Thank you, but also, as you could hear, they did an amazing job, which was a challenge because you were the smallest team, right, during the exhibition?
Yes, we were.
So last question, how did you feel doing this whole exhibition and making the process work in just the three of you? Last questions before we finish. Go, Kathy.
Well, at the beginning, I felt a little bit unsure how we're supposed to fit all this work with only 3 people. But now at the end of this exhibition, we have done everything we need. So it was pretty fine.
Thank you. Alex?
And I think that it helped us cooperate more because 3 people are better to cooperate than 100 people. And we can say this.
So although we would think that maybe it is more work, the cooperation was easier. Interesting observation.
I think that for me, it didn't really bother me that we had only 3 people in our team, but it was tough at times to get along. But I think it ended up very well, and I'm really happy with what we did. Even though we're only 3 people, it only came to me now that there's so little people, and we did everything that we should have done.
Thank you. So you are proud of yourselves then, are you?
I can say for the whole team, yes, we are.
And you should be. Thank you, Alex, for raising the voice. More lovely comments that I think you need to hear because you deserve it, guys, so much. From Miss Ivona Deskur, great job. It is not an easy topic. I loved it from Ox Brunox. Maybe some Bruno. Well done, team. From Mr. Engelian. From Miss Aneta Zbutska, our school principal. The three of you are real risk takers to pick such a topic up. Well done. You're doing great, guys. From some Gomez. From Miss Tanya Roshik. You all sound and look so professional.
Thank you.
Wonderful to hear it.
Because we are professional.
Oh, of course. And from Mr. Engelian, again, you covered the topic very well. From Miss Patricia Straub, our music teacher, amazing job with a heart.
Thank you.
Such a professional session from Miss Kasia Tabin. We guys are coming to an end. So thank you once again for listening. And the last words?
I'll do the outro, but first I would like to mention that when we were writing the script, Sophie and Kathy didn't want the intro first. And now it turned so good because I asked especially Miss Karolina, do people like my intro in the chat? Yes. So I'm really happy. Okay,
everybody liked everything,
now the
Alex.
Outro. Oh, is it the time? We have to finish. Oh no.
That was not how we planned it to be, but okay.
We are the risk takers, truly.
Also, at the beginning, Alex wanted to say, "What's up, streamers?"
Okay. So thank you. So I guess that we should sum it up by just saying our names again and thanking the audience for listening and being a part of it. So let's go.
I am Katarina Engelian.
I'm Sophie Kalvani.
And I am Alex Roshik.
Thank you very much, everybody. My name is Karolina Kazin, and I was just a humble moderator of this challenging session. Thank you very much. Bravo, and let's say bye to the audience. Thank you, guys.
I want to like to drop the microphone. Wait. Still waiting. Bye.